This orientation is conducted to help the students learn about the school's rules and regulations. This will also help the students in knowing the key staff of the school and to learn about the services available that aims in providing academic, emotional, and practical support to ensure the success of the students.
There's one more gift I'd ask of you, Lord. It would be peace here on earth. As gentle as your children's laughter all around, all around. There is
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit kong pagaw, ay hinatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling ko. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga aking, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Good morning, our dear students. It is indeed our great pleasure to welcome you all to Polangui Community College, academic year 2021-2022. You are about to begin a new chapter in your life, and everyone here will help you make your PCC experience worthwhile and exciting. Thus, let us start our new year at school with hopes and dreams that despite the fact that we are in the midst of a pandemic and that no matter how limited we might be, we'll do our best to achieve what we call dreams. Polangui Community College puts the students at the center of everything it does. Here in PCC, you will have the opportunity to learn new things, acquire new knowledge, develop new skills, and enhance your character that will help cope up life after college. Your experiences and your successes are what matters most to us. So, we hope and pray that you will enjoy your stay in a challenging and diverse but caring and nurturing community college. Again, welcome to Polangui Community College, and we look forward to all of you having a wonderful academic journey in the fulfillment of your dreams. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. My dear students, welcome to Polangui Community College. Kayo ay magsisimula ng isang bagong kabanata sa inyong buhay dito sa Polangui Community College. Ito ay magiging isang mapaghamon ngunit panabik na paglalakbay para sa inyong lahat. Ang PCC ay napakaganda at binubuo ng nagmamalasakit na komunidad ng mga mapagmahal na alumni, teaching and non-teaching staff, mga stakeholders at supporters. Kapag kayo ay naging PCCnian, kayo ay magiging PCCnian ngayon at kailanman. Ang lahat ng inyong pagdadaanan at matututunan sa PCC ay magbibigay daan sa inyo upang kayo ay maging handa sa hamon ng buhay. Kaya buksan ang inyong maisip at sulitin ang bawat inaalok na mga karanasan na dito lamang sa PCC ninyo matatagpuan. Set your goals o magtakda kayo ng mga layunin at magsumikap upang makamit ang mga ito. Mag-aral kayo ng mabuti, galugarin, tangkilikin at punan ang inyong mabuhay ng mga makabuluhang aktibidad. Ang magiging papel ng PCC ay tulungan kayo sa inyong bawat hakbang upang mailabas ang inyong totoong potensyal at kakayahan. Inaasahan ko na may isa sa puso at magagamit ninyo ang mga magandang matutunan sa PCC at maging mga pinuno na maaaring magbigay ng mas mahusay, maayos at masaganang hinaharap para sa mundo. Upang matulungan at magabayan kayo sa inyong unang taon at mga susunod pang taon ninyo sa PCC, hayaan ninyong akong ibigay at iwan sa inyo itong 5 mga paalala na sana ay manatili sa inyo at mahikayat kayong magpatuloy lalo na ngayong nasa new normal. Una, believe in yourself. Maniwala kayo sa inyong mga sarili. Maniwala sa inyong mga kakayahan at magkaroon ng kumpiyansa sa inyong mga sarili. Ikalawa, ask for help. Humingi ng tulong. Alam nating hindi ito magiging madali. Ngunit, ang paghingi ng tulong ay madalas na isa sa pinakamahalagang bagay na maaari ninyong gawin. Habang kayo ay nag-aaral, ang paghingi ng tulong ay mag-uugnay sa inyo sa ibang mga tao. Magbibigay ito sa inyo ng lakas ng loob at makakatulong na gawing mas masaya at mayaman ang inyong magiging karanasan sa PCC. Ikatlo, proper mindset matters. Ang pagkakaroon ng positibong pag-uugali at pananaw ay maaaring makaapekto sa inyong mga karanasan sa malaking paraan. Sa pagharap ninyo sa bagong kabanatang ito ng inyong buhay, ang pagkakaroon ng proper mindset ay makakatulong sa inyo upang mahanap ang inyong tamang lugar o kalagayan habang kayo ay nasa transisyon ng pagkilala ng PCC community. Maaaring wala sa inyong kontrol ang hirap na mararanasan ninyo habang kayo ay nag-aaral. Ngunit, ang mas mahalaga ay kung paano kayo tutugon sa mga hamong ito. Ikaapat, value differences. Pahalagaan ang inyong pagkakaiba-iba. Ang bawat taong inyong makasalamuha ay may mga karanasang iba sa mga karanasan ninyo. Ang mga karanasang ito ang umuhubog kung sino kayo. At mahalagang maging magalang sa bawat isa sa kabila ng inyong iba't ibang mga karanasan. Our differences are what make us stronger, more interesting, and more human. At ikalima, be a good human. Maging isang mabuting tao, ang pagpapalaga sa mga pagkakaiba, pagkakaroon ng positibong pag-iisip, paniniwala sa inyong sarili, ang pagkakaroon ng lakas ng loob at humingi ng tulong ay hindi posible kung walang bukas na pag-iisip. Be open-minded. Laging hanapin at tingnan ang mabuti sa ibang tao at sa inyong sarili. Be a good human. Sana ay makatulong itong 5 mga paalala ko sa inyo. Sana ay makapagbigay ang mga ito sa inyo, hindi lamang ng inspirasyon kundi lakas ng loob at kagustuhang harapin at samantalahin ang lahat ng mga magandang pagkakataong darating sa inyo sa mga taong kayo ay nasa PCC. And as the chairman of the College Board of Trustees, I am very glad to welcome you all to Polangui Community College. And let me leave this message as a challenge or reminder to all of you. Life is an adventure. Dare it. A duty, perform it. An opportunity, take it. A journey, complete it. A promise, fulfill it. A puzzle, solve it. A goal, achieve it. Thank you and may God bless us all. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Uswag Polangui.
Polangui Community College is the oldest CHADE-recognized higher education institutions, and one of the leading local colleges in the region. PCC is governed by its Board of Trustees, headed by the local Chief Executive of Municipality of Polangui, Mayor Andy A. Mariscotes. Dr. Rosalinda B. Barcas, the college president/administrator as vice chairperson, and the 6 BOT members in the persons of Honorable Jose Villar, Municipal Councilor Chairman Committee on Education. Dr. Joey Zamora, ALCO Vice President. Mr. Butch Ross, PCC Faculty and Employees Association President. Mr. Ronald Ellen Sardi, PCC Alumni Association President. Mr. Joel E. Sardi, NGO Representative, and Mr. Joan L. Biasca, PCC College Student Council President. PCC is administered by a full-time and qualified college president/administrator, Dr. Rosalinda B. Barcas, who is also the Vice President for Academic in a concurrent capacity. Under the VP for Academics are Dr. Manuel M. Mendoza as College Dean and Dr. Clyde Alexander A. Anchoquia as Assistant College Dean, who is also the Dean of Teacher Education Department in a concurrent capacity. Under the Dean of Teacher Education Department are the program heads, Dr. Mary N. Pillarda for Bachelor of Physical Education, Maria Joy Cruz for Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education, and George Francis Robbie for Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. The coordinator for Research and Community Extension is Mrs. Loida S. Naz. Mrs. Matilda M. Cortan as coordinator for NSTP, and Miss Ruby Lisa M. Capatti as coordinator for Students' Activities and Services. PCC is also supervised by the Vice President for Administration, and under his office are the College Registrar Miss Ronald Lubit, Miss Joby Eli Sharel and the OIC Guidance Counselor. Donna May Conception the School Nurse. Heidi O. Gomez the Acting Property Custodian. Juvies Humal the Senior Bookkeeper. Janitorial Services J. Valentin Sa Bye, Gerly Bagasola, Elvin Roncesvalles, Reynaldo Salting Jr., Christopher Tagay, Michelle Ariola, Arwin Amargo. Security Personnel Melanio Camacho Jr., Venjo Samar, Rodolfo Moratala Jr., Ramon Sanico Jr., Roberto Navarro Jr., Amtero Borbi. PCC Office Staff Nestor Salmanao Jr., Ana Marie Martinez, Ferdinand Salvador, Mayden Villas. The VP for Administration coordinates with LGU Municipal Budget Officer Arlen Canya Virel, Municipal Accountant Lonnie Benosa, and Municipal Treasurer Luzri Fran.
Welcome to Bachelor of Secondary Education Department, headed by yours truly, Clyde Alexander Antioquia, also teaching professional education subjects and social studies subjects. The department offers Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Filipino, Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Studies, and Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. The BSED program outcomes are: articulate the rootedness of education in philosophical, sociocultural, historical, psychological, and political contexts. Demonstrate mastery of subject matter or discipline. Facilitate learning using a wide range of teaching methodologies and delivery modes appropriate to specific learners and their environments. Develop innovative curricula, instructional plans, teaching approaches, and resources for diverse learners. Apply skills in the development and utilization of ICT to promote quality, relevant, and sustainable educational practices. Demonstrate a variety of thinking skills in planning, monitoring, assessing, and reporting learning. Practice professional and ethical teaching standards sensitive to the local, national, and global realities. Pursue lifelong learning for personal and professional growth through varied experiential and field-based opportunities. For the Filipino major, nagpapamalas ng mataas na antas ng kaalaman sa pagtuturo ng wika at panitikang Pilipino. Nagpapakita ng malawak at malalim na pag-unawa at kaalaman sa ugnayan ng wika, kultura at lipunan. Nakagagamit ng iba't ibang kasanayan at kaalaman sa proseso ng pagtuturo at pagkatuto. Nagtataglay ng kaalaman hingil sa usapin ng kultura at lingwistikong diversidad ng bansa. Nakapagdidisenyo ng malikhain, inobatibo at integratibong mga alternatibong dulog sa pagtuturo at pagkatuto. Nakagagawa ng pananaliksik ukol sa ikauunlad ng wikang Pilipino bilang wikang panturo. For major in social studies, utilize appropriate various sociocultural and historical materials in explaining current issues. Organize communities towards self-reliance and self-sufficiency. Demonstrate leadership skills that will help in teaching or training students who will empower their communities. Integrate local and global perspectives in teaching the principle of the common good. Employ principles of sustainable development in teaching and learning. Show scholarship in research and further learning. Display the qualities of an innovative teacher who has mastery of the subject matter. For major in English, possess broad knowledge of language and literature for effective learning. Use English as a local language in a multilingual context, as it applies to the teaching of language and literature. Acquire extensive reading background in language, literature, and allied fields. Demonstrate proficiency in oral and written communication. Shows competence in employing innovative language and literature teaching approaches, methodologies, and strategies. Use technology in facilitating language learning and teaching. Inspire students and colleagues to lead relevant and transformative changes to improve learning and teaching language and literature. Display skills and abilities to be a reflective and research-oriented language and literature teacher. Faculty members are Cynthia Alipon, teaching professional education subjects and GEC science subject. Medina Arino, teaching professional education subjects and GEC social sciences subject. Rochelle Bacon, teaching GEC social sciences and humanities subjects. Rogie Joshua Bigay, teaching GEC mathematics subjects. Arnel Bonganay, teaching GEC English, ethics, and GEC Humanities subjects. Joel Camoral, teaching Social Sciences GEC subjects. Rubilisa Capate, teaching Filipino and Social Sciences GEC subjects. Eldilita Cedo, teaching GEC English and Ethics subjects. Heidi Gomez, teaching NSTP CWTS subjects. Joel Hernandez, teaching NSTP CWTS subjects. Marlene Hernandez, teaching Filipino major subjects. Myra Lipnica, teaching Filipino major subjects. Ronaldin Llobit, teaching GEC English subjects and English major subjects. Evelyn Mariscotes, teaching GEC Mathematics subjects. Mary Jane Mendoza, teaching Professional Education subjects. Lloyd Anas, teaching Professional Education subjects. Janelyn Nesio, teaching Social Studies subjects, GEC Social Sciences subjects. Julia Redota, teaching Professional Education subjects. Bonifacio Sadweste, teaching Professional Education subjects and GEC Science subjects. Dante Salmon, teaching GEC Filipino subjects. Joan Saminiano, teaching Filipino major subjects and GEC Filipino subjects. Joel Sangreo, teaching Filipino major subjects. Cristobal Sayago, teaching Professional Education subjects. Nelly Sevilla, teaching major mathematics subject and GEC Mathematics subject. Randy Taduran, teaching Social Studies subjects and Social Sciences subjects. Ramilo Bande, teaching Social Studies and Social Sciences GEC subjects. Thank you and enjoy your studies.
Hello, my dear students. Welcome to Polangui Community College. Polangui Community College is spearheaded by Dr. Rosalinda B. Barquez, our Vice President for Academic Affairs and at the same time, the PCC Administrator. One of the curriculum offerings of Polangui Community College is Bachelor of Physical Education or BPED. BPED was fully recognized by the government in the recently concluded ARPAT evaluation and was issued a Certificate of Program Compliance or COPC last May 17, 2021. The BPED is a 4-year program aimed at equipping graduates with the competencies to meet the psychomotor, cognitive, and affective needs of learners. In this course, a student is expected to perform regular and extra class programs. Such activities under regular, we have the core, related, and adaptive activities, whereas activities under extra class program are intramurals, extramurals, field mass demonstration, and exhibition groups. Furthermore, a student is expected to perform field studies, field observations, research activities, internships, and teaching demonstration. These are all part of the curriculum mandated to perform by the students stipulated in the CMO number 80, Series 2017. After the 4-year course taking necessary trainings and board examination, physical education lends itself to a range of careers in sports and fitness, as well as other industries that you may not have considered before. Some careers that you could consider doing with physical education include sports science, physical education teacher or health teacher, physiotherapist, professional sports person, sports coach and consultant, sports psychologist, sports policy at local and national level. Furthermore, diet and fitness instructor, personal trainer, athletic coach, athletic administration, gym teacher, fitness instructor, and group exercise instructor. My dear friends, BPED is fully equipped with sports facilities and equipment which can be used in the conduct of the physical fitness and resistance training activities. We have also sports equipment which can be used during the conduct of individual, two-wall, and team sports activities. When it comes to the faculty of instruction, we have caliber instructors and experts, professors who could teach you the physical education subjects and specialist subjects. We have Dr. Mary Ann Espillarda, Associate Professor 5 and Program Head of IPED. Ms. Ansel Joy Samar, Assistant Professor 2. Ms. Matilde M. Cortan, Physical Education Instructor. Ms. Mary Lucy Borja, Physical Education Instructor. Dr. Ariel Dido Magsam, Physical Education Instructor. Mr. Arnold Don Arencisa, Physical Education Instructor and Trainer. Mr. Alan Ronsas Valles, Physical Education Instructor and Trainer. We have also Mr. Jolan Estino, Physical Education Instructor, as well as Mr. Aljun Vergara, our Physical Education Instructor. There you go, my dear students. I hope you will enjoy your stay in taking Bachelor of Physical Education or BPED. Once again, welcome to Polangui Community College and welcome to Bachelor of Physical Education. Be safe and enjoy your studies amidst this pandemic. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Polangui Community College, one of the local colleges in the Bicol region, where you can enjoy the privilege of the tertiary free education by the virtue of Republic Act 10931. I am Maria Joyas Cruz, the Program Head of Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education, and welcome to our virtual orientation for the first semester of academic year 2021-2022. This school year is another year for you to face the new challenges in education in this time of pandemic. But rest assured that administrators of Polangui Community College is doing their best to provide quality education as well as observing all the health protocols, ensuring the safety of everyone. Let me introduce to you one of the programs that the Polangui Community College is offering, the Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Home Economics. BTLED program of Polangui Community College has its Certificate of Compliance or COPC as a proof that BTLED program complies with the requirements of the Commission on Higher Education or CHED in terms of administrators, faculty, facilities, and curriculum. CHED Memorandum Number 78, Series 2017, Policies, Standards, and Guidelines for the Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education guides us in providing quality education to our learners. The objective of the program: demonstrate comprehensive and up-to-date knowledge in a specific field of specialization in the technology and livelihood education curriculum by engaging in scholarly and research activities and by maximizing opportunities for lifelong learning. Provide meaningful learning experiences to secondary students by using emerging educational technologies for quality and effective teaching and by creating an environment that encourages positive social interaction, engagement, and self-motivation. Demonstrate competence in teaching and testing through the design, adoption, and utilization of teaching methods, instructional materials, and assessment tools that are appropriate to the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor development of learners. Observe the professional code of ethics for teachers and internalize the continuous professional development as well as the need to work cooperatively and harmoniously with all members of the academic community, and establish sustainable partnership and linkages with the professional community and provide assistance to the underserved, depressed, illiterate, and less skilled members of society through extension activities and community service. For the program outcomes, demonstrate the competencies required of the Philippine Tibet Trainers Assessors Qualifications Framework. Demonstrate broad and coherent, meaningful knowledge and skills in technology and livelihood education. Apply with meaningful supervision, specialized knowledge and skills in technology and livelihood education. Demonstrate higher literacy, communication, numeracy, critical thinking, learning skills needed for higher learning. Manifest a deep and principled understanding of the learning process and the role of teacher in facilitating these processes on their students. Show a deep and principled understanding of how educational processes relate to larger historical, social, cultural, and political processes. Apply a wide range of teaching process skills, including curriculum development, lesson planning, materials development, educational assessment, and teaching approaches. And reflect on the relationship among teaching process skills, the learning processes in the students, the nature of the content or subject, and other factors affecting educational processes in order to constantly improve their teaching knowledge, skills, and practices. At this point, let me share with you the overview of the program. The program shall be called Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Home Economics. The BTLED program is an undergraduate teacher education program that equips learners with adequate and relevant competencies in the area of technology and livelihood education, particularly for the TLE exploratory courses from grades 4 to 8. The program aims to develop highly competent and motivated teachers in technology and livelihood education for grades 4 to 8. The curriculum comprises of the general education courses as stipulated in CMO number 20, series of 2013, professional education courses, and major courses. learning modality being applied in this time of pandemic. Flexible learning modality as stipulated in CMO number 4, series of 2020. Synchronous and asynchronous. Modular, laboratory, and practical. For the programs and activities of the department where you can be part of, we have cooking demo, community outreach program, field study, practice teaching, and research. Career opportunities that await you after graduation. You can be a secondary school teacher, educational consultant, textbook writer, module writer, private tutor, and researchers. At this point, I wanted to meet the competent and efficient administrator and instructors in the BTLED department. Our college administrator and VP for Academics, Dr. Rosalinda B. Barquez, VP for Administration and Program Head of the Sub-Department, George Frances B. Rabe, College Dean, Manuel C. Mendoza, Assistant College Dean, Clyde Alexander A. Antioquia. Yours truly, your Program Head of the BTLED Department. Our instructors, Martes Regalado, Engineer Josephine Rebato, Maria Amelia B. Masindo, Ronald Alan Sarte, Julia J. Reduta, Joyce M. Hernandez, Domingo S. Salceda. Other instructors under the department, Clyde Alexander A. Antioquia, Mrs. Heidi Gomez, Mrs. Arino, Mr. Ramelo Bante, Mrs. Mary Lou Borja, Mr. Don Incisa, Mrs. Joan Samaniano, Mrs. Cynthia B. Alipon, Mr. Arnel Bunganay, and Mrs. Jane Faustino. For the rules and regulations that you need to strictly observe and follow. First, observe netiquette during online class. Always check the deadlines of your tasks. Always prepare yourself, physically and mentally. Be prepared and be familiar with the apps or platforms that you are going to use. Be respectful. Be on time. Be attentive. Check your internet connection, devices, and all the things needed. Dress in a manner appropriate for a class. I hope that everything is clear. Learn and enjoy your college life, but be responsible and finish your degree. As Malcolm X says, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
Agribusiness is closely related to the fields of agriculture, business, management, economics, accountancy, and public administration. The BSAB curriculum is based on competency standards for agribusiness. It focuses on creating and going into business in agriculture. It is systems-oriented, emphasizing on the interactions of all activities and factors affecting manufactures and distribution of farm supplies, production activities on the farm, and the storage, processing, and distribution of farm commodities and items made from them, locally and globally within the context of the country's biophysical, social-cultural, political, economic environment and development needs. There is a need to intensively promote the field of agribusiness, as well as a need for graduates who are technically and managerially competent agribusiness managers and/or entrepreneurs. These individuals should possess proper knowledge, skills and values in creating, managing and growing sustainable agribusiness, taking into consideration all value chain activities affecting the manufacture and distribution of farm inputs, farming and marketing farm commodities and items derived from them. BISAB aims to produce educated and well-rounded professionals in agribusiness capable of meeting the national and global needs for highly trained managers, academics, researchers, and extensionists and entrepreneurs. The specific professions, careers, occupations, or trades that the graduates of these programs may go into: corporate planners, entrepreneurs, business consultants, business managers, sales representatives, credit analysts, teachers, researchers, and extensionists.
Office of the Registrar, services offered. Registrar services, plans, implements and evaluates policies relative to registration, data processing, recording and storage of student records. We also administers operations in the following areas of registration and enrollment-related activities: student records management, graduation and other related services, follows up of academic requirements including the completion of incomplete grades, enforces graduation requirements, prepares and submits records of candidates for graduation. Registrar services, receives, processes, and dispatches records of both active and inactive students as adherent to the policies of National Archives of the Philippines. Attends to correspondence regarding school records and other information. Resolves questions on student records. Provides statistical data on enrollment and related reports requested by SHED, government, and other external agencies. Designs and revises form needed for the registrar's use and transaction. Collate and secure grading sheet of instructors. Issues certificates, grades, records, release of transfer credentials, clearance and diplomas. Implements admission course requirements, transfers, retention, graduation and other related matters pertaining to student accounting. Maintain linkages with the students through Registrar's Office FB page. Important: incomplete is temporarily given to a student who may qualify for passing but not complied with all requirements of the subject. Such requirement must be satisfied within 1 semester from the end of the term. Otherwise the grade automatically becomes a 5, or failed. A student who desires to shift course programs for personal or academic reasons must secure the approval of the Dean Department Head or his/her original department, an application letter duly approved by the admitting department and noted by the registrar. This should be done before the semester ends. Scholarships and other educational assistance. How to be TES grantee. PCC automatically applies all students officially enrolled in the college once the TES portal is already open for application. A nationwide assessment will be conducted by UniFast, name matching, verification, ranking, from the data the college submitted. From the assessment, the list of qualified grantees will be emailed to the school. Thank you for listening and welcome to Polangui Community College. This is your school registrar, Miss Ronalyn Mayabit.
To the college freshmen, transferees, and returnees, welcome to the Polangui Community College. I am Joby Alicia Estrelion, your acting guidance counselor. Today, I am going to discuss the guidance services and the guidelines on school uniform and student identification card.
Now, I'm going to discuss the guidance and counseling services. Now, I'm going to discuss the guidelines on school uniform and student identification card. Both are considered as security measures which determines official students of Polangui Community College from anyone trying to gain access to the school premises for whatever reasons. For the female students, uniform should be A. White blouse with sleeves sewn according to specifications, B. Olive green slack pants, C. Black leather shoes at least 1-inch heel, and D. An identification card worn with official lanyard. This is the school uniform for females. For males, the uniform should be A. A white polo shirt with school seal with white undershirt, B. Black slack pants, C. Black leather shoes, and D. An identification card worn with official lanyard. This is the school uniform for the male students. For the PE and NSTP uniforms, PE uniform should be worn during PE classes only. For NSTP uniforms, it should be worn during NSTP classes and outreach activities only. For Saturdays and Sundays uniform, students are required to wear maong pants, white t-shirt with PCC logo, rubber shoes, and/or sneakers. Furthermore, male students are not allowed to wear earrings, tongue piercings, and bull cups. PCC students represent the school in a special way and are responsible to the school, especially when in uniform. No student is allowed to wear the uniform when going to the bar, engaging in drinking, and any other activities, doing non-productive such as gambling, smoking pot, and other similar activities. These guidelines only applies once face-to-face classes resumes. Reminder that when you visit school, do not wear shorts, ripped jeans, and slippers because you will not be allowed to enter the school premises. For the student identification card, it must be worn with official lanyard at all times while inside the school premises. The students without IDs or whose IDs are invalid shall not be allowed entry in the campus and classrooms. It is considered a school property and borrowing and lending of ID is prohibited as is tampering and destruction thereof. In case of loss, a replacement of ID card should be considered subject to payment of the replacement fee. Thank you. The guidance and counseling services is committed to, first, to assist the students in adapting and adjusting to new situations, develop good relations, and solidarity within the academic world. Second, to help the student manifest well-integrated attitudes and increase self-awareness that contributes to a progressive and productive home and community life. Third, to provide a good quality of service among the students through rendering academic counseling, either group or individual, that will promote academic success. Fourth, to assist the students to manifest readiness to face academic challenges that may hinder personal growth and improvement through the dynamic interest in planning, implementations, and evaluations of varied classroom and other school community activities. Lastly, to administer available test materials that are appropriate to their needs and help to improve their academic performance. So what are the services offered by the Guidance Office? First is the Individual Inventory Service. The Individual Inventory Service is to keep an orderly and systematic record of students' personal information, which are stored in a secured place for the purpose of profiling, monitoring, and evaluation in terms of their academic and personal social development. So this is an example of an individual inventory form which you filled out during the enrollment. Rest assured that the confidentiality of information is understood and maintained. Second, testing services. Standardized tests are administered to acquire data on the student's aptitude, intelligence, personality, and interest in order to analyze and evaluate their functional skills. Currently, there are 3 available psychological tests in the office. Third, counseling services. This pertains to the individual and group counseling sessions done by the counselor in order to address the student's needs. The mental health of the student is our topmost priority. Together with the acting guidance counselor and school nurse, the school launched a program entitled Andorog, and its acronym stands for A. Assist students and instructors to N. Nurture physical and mental health. D. Develop a healthy and stress-free environment. U. Understand mental and health care. R. Resilient to the situation. O. Organize daily routine and lifestyle. And G. Guided with spiritual and professional values. The aim of this program is to conduct an online counseling to the students and establish an official hotline to where the acting guidance counselor and school nurse will be reached. So this is the Facebook group link for the Andorog PCC Mental and Healthcare Services, and I encourage you all to join. Fourth, the follow-up services. This refers to the systematic evaluation of the effectiveness of the guidance program in general and placement services. It is also concerned with what happened to the students while they are in school or after they have left the school. Fifth, the career development and job placement services. The objective is to assist students in their adjustment in the context of a job for which they are best fitted and which they get satisfaction. These create awareness and appreciation of the different stages of life and professional careers. These also cultivate proper attitude towards work decision and choice setting, and we conduct career fairs for the graduating students to help assist them in making wise decisions in the near future as to what career they plan to pursue. Sixth, information services. To disseminate relevant information to the students that are essential for their academic and career development. The information not ordinarily provided through classroom instruction will also be available. Since we are in an online setup, Facebook and Messenger will be utilized to disseminate information. Lastly, the research and evaluation services. This is to conduct of research on entrance exam scores, psychological test results, values, attitudes, and evaluation of the basic guidance services at the end of the school year. These are a few reminders. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental and health concerns, there are several resources available to find out more information or get connected for help. Check out these accounts below. Ms. Donna May S. Concepcion, our school nurse, and B. your acting guidance counselor, Joby Alicia S. Galion. Write it down. Use a journal to track your progress or any questions you might want to ask your teacher about the lessons in class. Take breaks in between. Let your mind rest and recharge. Stretch, hug your pet, partners, peers, water your plants, have a quick snack, or make a cup of coffee. Speak up and ask for help. When things get tough, don't just push it. Ask your parents, reach out to your teacher, or seek the help of your classmates. Support will always be available. Thank you.
Polangui Community College Library Orientation, New Normal Services. Library Hours. Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., no noon break. Saturdays to Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., no noon break. Library personnel: Mr. Rommel P. Austria, Librarian. Miss Mary Tess B. Sachayata, Assistant Librarian. Miss Cherry Joyce C. Sator, Administrative Aide 2. PCC Library New Normal Services. Online Library Instructions Orientation. Polangui Community College Library offers virtual instructional services aimed at helping users become more adept at identifying, locating, and accessing print and electronic information resources provided in the library. Online Book Request. This service is designed to provide access to resources tailored fit to the request of the library community. Students and faculty may send their suggested books and recommendations via email, library social media accounts, or Google Form. Online Reference Services. This service provides virtual assistance to library users to help them in their information needs via PCC Library social media accounts and email. This may include answering ready references questions, provides readers advisory services, and Biblio. Students and faculty may ask for assistance via the library email, phone, and social media account to support the needs of the patrons by answering queries, providing requests, and responding to patrons' concerns. Library access. For the safety of clientele, Polangui Community College Library will be limiting patrons by schedule. Students are required to fill out the library access form online for their desired date and time of library access. Minimum health protocols will be implemented inside the library. Library policies. At the entrance,
all bona fide PCC students will register at the login form located at the entrance. The school ID must be worn at all times. Bags except for valuable materials should be left inside the baggage counter to be assisted by the circulation desk personnel.
Use of library materials inside the library. Look for library materials in the shelves or ask the librarian or library staff about the library materials. Use the library materials to extract information and return the library materials at the book return area. Authorized users: bona fide students of Polangui Community College, bona fide members of the academic community, visiting users with referral letters, alumni. Access to the collection. The PCC library maintains a semi-open shelf system. Books are arranged on the shelves according to the Dewey Decimal Classification System, DDC. Loan. Students may borrow a maximum of 3 books for 2 hours. This applies to books from the Filipiniana and circulation section, while 30 minutes for reserved books. Due to the pandemic, all books are for inside library use only. Lost books. A lost book must be reported immediately to the librarian. A student who loses a book shall either replace it with the same title or pay a corresponding amount depending on the cost of the book. Damaged materials. Missing pages in any borrowed book must be reported immediately to the librarian. Library materials damaged beyond normal usage must be replaced with the same title or pay according to the value determined by the librarian. Suspension of library privileges. Library users caught bringing out library materials taken without permission shall be dealt with appropriate action. Library forms. library facilities. Conduct inside the library. Users are expected to conduct themselves in such a way as they will not disturb the peace and order in the library. Eating, sleeping, drinking, and making noise are not allowed. Silence is the golden rule inside the library. Thank you, stay safe and God bless.
Welcome to the school clinic. I am your school nurse, Nurse Donna, to give you information about the clinic and its services. The school clinic aims to make available for much needed health service to students and personnel of the school within the school premises. It also provides health services for the students and for the personnel as well. The school clinic is equipped with facilities and supplies to meet first aid requirements and provide annual medical and dental checkup. It also has a full-time nurse that attends to the needs of the students as well as the personnel of the school. In case of serious illnesses or any emergency, the student or personnel is brought to a nearby hospital for treatment. The school clinic offers medical and dental services. For medical services, the school clinic offers annual medical checkup of students and personnel, first aid intervention to any emergency situation within the school premises, administration of emergency medicines to minor ailments such as menstrual pains, headache, fever, induced bowel movements, or any other minor ailments. Vital signs taking or monitoring is also offered, especially for hypertensive students. BP monitoring is every morning or any time of the day at your convenient time. It could be early in the morning before the class starts, during breaks, or during your free time. You can visit me anytime in the clinic. Weight and height measurement is also offered, and it is conducted annually for monitoring of the BMI. The school clinic also offers cleansing, treatment, and dressing of minor wounds or bruises, referral of cases to the hospital or any health agencies as needed, follow-up referred cases, guidance counseling services to students in relation to depression and others as the client needs arise, health information dissemination and health education to clients. Health information dissemination and health education during this pandemic time is done by posting through social media platforms. Here's the patient care flowchart. Once the student enters the clinic for medical treatment, the nurse will do some assessment. In accident or emergency cases, the nurse will give necessary first aid to the student. For minor scratches and bruises, the nurse will inform the advisor, and the advisor will inform the parent or the guardian of the student about the incident. If there are other classmates involved, the nurse will inform or refer the students to the guidance counselor. If during the assessment the nurse found out that the student needs hospital treatment, the nurse will immediately transfer the student to the nearest hospital and call the advisor to inform the parent or the guardian that the student is being brought to the hospital. In minor cases such as headache, stomach ache, fever or dizziness, and other illnesses, the nurse will give appropriate treatment and assess whether that student will still attend the class or will go home to rest. If the student or if the nurse advise the student to attend the class or go back to the classroom, the nurse will give health instructions to the student before going back to the classroom. And if the student will need to go home to have some rest, the nurse will call the parent or the guardian to inform them that the nurse is sending them home to have some rest. If the parent or the guardian can fetch the student, it is much better. For the dental services, the school clinic offers oral examinations to assess dental needs and refer cases which are beyond the capability of the dentist to higher authorities. It also offers primitive measures. Policies, guidelines, and procedures. In the emergency cases guidelines and procedures, it includes the following. The patient will be assessed by the school nurse and will be given necessary first aid, and the patient will be sent immediately to the nearest hospital together with the nurse for proper endorsement. Next is that the nurse will immediately inform the parent or the guardian or the significant others about the situation. The nurse will not leave the patient or student unless the parent or the guardian or significant others arrived and or the patient is in stable condition and has been properly endorsed to the hospital staff. Lastly, an incident report will be made by the nurse for proper documentation of the incident. For the policy on administering medicines or vaccines and other drugs, it includes the following. Only a starting dose is given to every patient. Please do not expect that the clinic will provide you with the maintenance medications that you need. The clinic will only give a starting dose to every patient that needs immediate treatment. Next, antibiotics are advised only or prescribed only by a physician. Nurses do not prescribe antibiotics. Only physicians do. Patients for intramuscular injections are entertained with referral note from attending physician. The school nurse may give you your intramuscular injection provided that you present the referral note from the attending physician. No medicine should be given to students with mild symptoms such as low-grade fever, runny nose, occasional cough, except asthma and diarrhea when bowel movement is less than 3 times in 24 hours. For low-grade fever, we only give or advise the student to drink plenty of fluids or water. Another, personnel or students who have asthma, hypertension, and other serious health conditions should bring their own medicines to school. You may also leave your medication or maintenance medication to the school clinic so that in case of emergency situation or you forgot to drink your medicine at home, the school nurse can give you your medication. All students or personnel with maintenance drugs or special needs must present medical certificate from their attending physician for record purposes. On the policy guidelines implementing communicable diseases and epidemics or pandemics prevention programs of the college, I have only highlighted those that are very important to give emphasis on. 5.3 Medical and dental requirements for admission, OJT, and off-campus activities includes 5.3.1 that all freshman enrollees and all transferees are required to submit medical certification, dental certification, chest x-ray, and drug test result. 5.3.5 students undergoing OJT or practice teaching should include chest x-ray results, and for food service majors such as the BT-led major in home economics, if they are handling food, they need to have hepatitis screening test results to be submitted to their OJT or practice teaching coordinators. For the safety health protocols, the school requires that upon entrance, the student should stop at the security guard for temperature checking and disinfection of hands, log their names on the logbook at the security guard, and use their own pen in writing their name. They are also required to complete the information on the CTS or the contact tracing slip form provided before entering the school premises. This is how to complete the information on the CTS form provided before entering the school premises. So first, you have to write your complete name legibly and clearly on this part, and write your signature or affix your signature above your name. Next is to complete this part by writing your course and year level. For example, you are a freshman BSub student and you are on the first section. You have to write BSub 1A. Also, write your address. If you are residing in Alnay, Polangui, Albay, you can write Alnay, Polangui, Albay, and your contact number. Why do we need this information? This is for contact tracing purposes, just in case one of the staff or the student had a COVID disease and you had an encounter or you are present also on that day that the student with positive case of COVID visited the school, we can easily contact or trace you. Next is to write the office or the name of the instructor that you will visit on this part. And the date that you visited them. This is how the completely accomplished form should look like. And upon accomplishing this, you are going to present this to the office or the person that you are going to visit. After presenting this form, the person whom you had an interaction or you visited will put the time that you visited or transact with them, as well as their initial on this part. Please always be reminded that inside the school premises, if you do not have a CTS and do not wear a face mask, there will be no transaction. And always be reminded to always observe a safe distance at all times and keep your face mask on. Because wearing your face mask is caring for yourself and for everybody. Before leaving the school premises, make sure that your CTS is properly signed by the person you visited or you had transaction with, and leave the accomplished CTS form at the security guard. For health updates and health advisories, please join Andorog PCC Mental and Health Services Group on Facebook with this link. For health-related concerns, you may text or call these numbers or chat on FB Messenger under my account. And please let me remind you that only health-related concerns will be entertained. Non-health-related concerns will not be entertained. Thank you, everyone. Keep safe and God bless us all. I will be discussing about school discipline of the Polangui Community College. I am Mrs. Jane S. Faustino, your Prefect of Discipline. What is discipline? Discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a conduct of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience, or train someone to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Now let's go to the definition of what is school discipline. School discipline means a system consisting code of conduct, punishment, and behavioral strategies to regulate students and keep school and classroom in order. The aim of classroom management and discipline is controlling students' action, habits, attitude, and behavior in the classroom. Now let's go to our school discipline. Enforcement of rules on school discipline are as follows. The Polangui Community College require conforming to the rules of proper behavior and conduct at all times. This can be enforced, its rules and regulations, whenever the student is anywhere within the school premises, is in school uniform, is at school-related and or school-sponsored activities, and commits acts contrary to values upheld by school prejudicial to the good name and reputation of the school. These are the procedure for disciplinary action. And resolving disciplinary cases such as those that warrant suspensions, cancellation of enrollment, or exclusion, due process will be followed. And fulfilling the requirements of due process, the following steps are to be taken. Number 1 is preliminary investigation, then followed by the answer. Then we have the clarificatory hearing, then the decision. After the decision, there is still a motion for reconsideration or appeal is appealed of. Student offenses shall be subject to disciplinary measure by the school. The list of offenses in the preceding presentation is not exhaustive and therefore not exclusive. The school reserves the right to impose penalty it deems appropriate and necessary against any misbehavior
committed by student even if this is not explicitly stated in the handbook. These are the types of offenses. The following acts or omission are considered as offenses and shall impose the corresponding penalties according to the type or classification of the offense. These are as follows. We have grave offenses. Under grave offenses, we have attempt against the life of another person inside the school premises. Next, we have the physical assault against a faculty member or school official. Physical assault against a fellow student resulting to injuries requiring hospital attendance. Participation in any hazing activity. Leading or organizing concerted activities intended to promote unlawful objective directed against the school or any of its officials or teachers. Conviction of a crime by a court, injustice involving a penalty of imprisonment for a period of 6 years. Use, possession, or distribution of any regulated substance prohibited by the law. Carrying of weapons such as firearms, explosive, ice picks, knives, and the like within the school premises. Affiliation with organization whose objectives or activities are contrary to school's philosophy, policies, and rules such as underground fraternities, sororities, and gangs. Unauthorized use of a school's name for any purpose and inappropriate posting in the internet of comments, images, blog, videos that will destroy the name and reputation of the school, its employees, and students. Now we have the less grave offenses. Under the less grave offenses, we have the gross misconduct. These are the follows. Disorderly conduct resulting to disruption of classes or other school activities. Deliberate disrespect behavior in words and in deeds directed towards a school official or teacher. Disobedience to the lawful orders of school officials or teachers, which imposes property risk or loss of damage or person to injury or death. Unbecoming conduct that brings disrepute to the good name of the school. Indecent conduct by the use of foul language or obscene gestures. Gambling, eating, or possession of gambling paraphernalia within the school premises. And any acts of bullying. Another is acts of dishonesty. Cheating in examination, quizzes, projects, homeworks, and or schoolworks. For this purpose, the following are considered cheating. These are follows. Using notes, devices, or other means during an examination session for purpose of cheating. Taking examination materials before an examination, deliberately looking at the examination papers of others, copying or allowing to copy one's examination answers, term paper report, or any written project of another. Another is engaging another student in conversation during examination, tampering, altering, forging, or misuse of school documents, records, or credentials, submitting or supplying false information, and school records or documents. Next is plagiarism or making false, misleading claims and or representation regarding one's academic work. Then we have the offenses against property. These are taking or damaging articles or items belonging to another persons, destroying or damaging school records or properties, which shall include but not limited to the following: writing or drawing on walls or pieces of furniture, writing, defacing, or tearing books, magazines or periodicals belonging to the school, removing or detaching notices and posters, unauthorized entry in the school premises, and or unauthorized activities, use of facilities, equipment, or supplies. Misuse, loss of school funds, or loose destruction of financial records of school clubs and organization. We have another under the less grave offenses. This is the offenses against persons. Assaulting or inflicting injury on another person. Coercing, threatening, intimidating, or provoking students, school official, employee, teacher, or visitor. Next is circulating false, malicious, or scandalous information involving a school official, teacher, employee, or fellow student. Fighting with fellow student and extorting money or any article of value from a fellow student with use of threat, intimidation, force, or violence. We have another under less grave offenses. We have the offenses against order and decency. These are use, possession, or distribution of weapons and injurious articles, substances within the premises or during a school activity. Possession, distribution, or consumption of liquor or any other alcoholic beverages inside the campus or during official school activities. Entering the school premises under the influence of intoxicating beverages or substances. Possession, distribution, or publication of pornographic, obscene, immoral, or subversive materials. Participating in concerted activities leading to and or tending to create unnecessary noise, disturbance, disruption, or stoppage of classes. Harassing or preventing school officials, employees, and teachers from discharging their duties, or students from attending their classes or entering, leaving school premises. Affiliation in any fraternity, sorority, or organization, espousing unlawful or immoral objectives, or engaging in activities contrary to laws, morals, or school regulations. We have under offenses against order and decency, participating in unlawful activities committed within the campus premises, scandalous display of affection within the school premises, possession or consumption of tobacco products. The last but not the least, we have the light offenses. These are tardiness, disorderly behavior intending to disturb classes, school activities, or religious activities, skipping mandatory school functions or activities, disrespectful demeanor unbecoming of a student, simple disobedience, wearing of school uniform in activities not sanctioned by the school, littering inside the school campus, using electronic communication devices like mobile phones, etc. during classes or examination session, violation of rules and regulation on grooming and personal appearance. This can be found on pages 21 to 24 of our student handbook under decorum and behavior. So these are the penalties in case you violate the rules and regulations of the school. According to Google, penalty is a punishment imposed for breaking a rule, law, or contract. For grave offense, we have exclusion or expulsion. For less grave offenses, we have suspension for 5 school days but not exceeded 1 month. However, a third or subsequent commission of an offense categorized as less grave offense may have a corresponding penalty for grave offense. For light offenses, we have first, infraction, oral warning. Second, written warning. Third, conference with parents and or guardian. Fourth, infraction, suspension for 1 school day. Fifth, suspension not exceeding 3 days. Sixth, or subsequent infraction, we have penalty imposable for less grave offenses. These are the procedure on student disciplinary action. According to Google, a complaint is a statement that a situation is unsatisfactory or unacceptable. So the procedure will start with a complaint. Who and how to file complaint. Who? Any person, whether a student, teacher, employee, or school official, may file a complaint against a student for breach of any disciplinary rule. How? A complaint shall be in writing and subscribed before an officer authorized to administer. The complaint shall state the following: the name of the complainant, the name of student complained of as respondent, and brief narration of the acts or omission complained of constituting an offense with the supporting evidence attached. The complaint shall be filed with the office of the administrator. It shall be in 3 copies to furnish the prefect of discipline and guidance counselor. However, when there are several respondents, additional 2 copies for every respondent shall be filed. This is the preliminary assessment. The prefect of discipline shall assess its contents and either dismisses the same if he or she finds it unmeritorious or transmit the complaint to the discipline committee for disciplinary proceeding if meritorious within 3 days upon the filing of complaint. Within 3 days from receipt of the complaint, the discipline committee shall furnish its respondent a copy of the complaint and the parent, guardian, by means of registered mail addressed to the residence of the said parent or guardian appearing in the record of the school. And these are the answer. The respondent shall file an answer with the discipline committee within 3 days from the receipt of a copy of the complaint. An extension not exceeding 3 days may be given to meritorious reasons. Then, next, the answer, which shall be in writing and subscribed and sworn before an officer authorized to administer an oath, shall contain the defenses relied upon with the necessary supporting evidence attached. 3. The respondent fails to file an answer. Such act shall be deemed a waiver of his or her right to be heard. The respondent student is entitled to be assisted by a counsel of his or her choice at any stages of any disciplinary proceedings. Then we have the clarificatory hearing. A clarificatory hearing may be called by the discipline committee when there are matters that need to be clarified. The discipline committee shall give clarificatory questions to the parties of their witness, during whom the parties shall be entitled to be present, but without the right to examine or cross-examine. The clarificatory hearing shall be started within 7 days from receipt of the answer or the expiration of the period to file the answer and shall be completed not later than 30 days. We have the decision. The discipline committee shall issue a decision within 10 days from receipt of the answer unless a clarificatory hearing is conducted, in which case the decision shall be issued within 10 days from termination of the clarificatory hearing. The decision shall contain a discussion of the findings of the discipline committee, its resolution on the offenses charged, and when applicable, the penalty to be imposed. Number 3, a copy of the decision issued by the Committee on Discipline shall be furnished the President, Administrator, the complaint, and the respondents. Unless appealed, the decision shall become final and executory after 3 days. We have the appeal. A party dissatisfied with the decision of the Discipline Committee may file an appeal to the President, Administrator within 3 days from receipt of the decision. The appealing party shall file with the school President, Administrator through the Discipline Committee, which shall transmit the record to the school President, Administrator within 3 days from receipt of the notice of appeal. The appealing party shall file with the school President, Administrator a written memorandum containing the arguments against the decision sought to be reviewed on appeal within 5 days after filing the notice of appeal, with copies furnished all other parties. The adverse party may file a reply memorandum in support of the appealed decision within 5 days from receipt of the memorandum. The school President, Administrator shall review the decision appealed to determine whether any lapse has been committed by the Discipline Committee. The appeal shall be considered submitted 20 days after the receipt of the record from the Discipline Committee. The resolution issued by the school President, Administrator is final and executory. Thank you.
Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from indomitable will. Good day, everyone. I'm Ms. Rubilisa Melia Capate, your coordinator for student activities. Welcome to this academic year 2021-2022.
Now, I am presenting to you the student activity programs of Polangui Community College. School activities are set up for the holistic development of the students, through which they learn to become agents of social transformation. 2 general objectives. So it aims to complement and enrich the curricular program and engage student activities which would harness talents, skills, and interest, leadership qualities, and active citizenship. There are also 2 classifications of student activities. The first one is the co-curricular activities. These are the training and activity program which directly enrich and complement the different subject area offerings or academic programs. The second one is the extracurricular activities. These are the activities which are not directly linked to the academic curriculum but are essential to the student development. Let us now come to PCC student services and facilities. So, the Polangui Community College exists principally to serve its students and therefore should keep on strengthening its capability to extend increasingly better services for their information, assistance, and well-being from the time they are admitted up to their graduation and eventual quest to widen the horizon. So, the following services and programs anchored on the different Student Affairs and Services Program under the CHED Memorandum Order Number 8, Series of 2020, or the Flexible Delivery of Student Affairs and Services. Next one is the Student Development Services. So the school provides services and programs to provide opportunities for student formation and discipline in the context of the 21st century. So under this, we have the student organization and services. So the school recognize and accredit, supervise, and monitor student groups, including the evaluation of their activities. We also have leadership training. The school provides programs and opportunities to develop and enhance leadership effectiveness in the personal level and student organizations, emphasizing student leadership role. We also have student council or student government. So the school also recognized and authorized a student body duly organized and elected at a large by the students themselves as the students' official representative in matters affecting them. We also have student discipline. So the school implements judicious institutional rules and regulations governing students' behavior and conduct. Next, we also have the student publication. So the school recognizes and upholds the right of its students to the free expression of ideas as embodied in the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. So the school encourages its students to undertake quality publications for disseminating information, creative ideas, and results of research, opinions, and constructive criticism. So the PCC Dimension is the official student publication and it is issued biannually. Next, we also have institutional student program and services. So the school provides services and programs designed to proactively respond to the basic health, food, shelter, and safety concerns of all types of students. Under these, we have the admission services. So the school provides services related to the processing of students' admission to the institution, including the requirements. You may also see page 9 of our student handbook for more information about admission policies. Then, we also have the scholarships and financial assistance. So the school also generate, manage, and or allocate funds for scholarship and financial aid to deserving students. We also have food services. So the campus canteen caters to the students' food needs and it offers a wide range of nutritious choice both for snacks and lunch. We also have the health services. So the college provides health services for the students and for the personnel as well by giving first aid, free dental and medical checkup up to the students once every school year. Medicine for common illness is provided also and referrals to rural health unit are given as needed. Next, under also for the institutional student programs and services, we also have the safety and security services. So the school provides safe and secure environment and that of the members of the academic community by posting security guards on duty 24/7. We also have the student housing and residential services. So the school also provides assistance to ensure students access to safe accommodation that is also conducive to learning. We also have the multi-faith services. So the school also provides an environment conducive to free expression of one's religious orientation in accordance with institutional principles. We also have the services for students with special needs and PWDs. So the school conduct programs and activities designed to provide equal opportunities to students belonging to indigenous groups, students with disabilities, and students who are solo parent and etc. Next, we also have the cultural and arts program. So the school also conduct activities designed to provide opportunities to students to develop and enhance talents, abilities, and values for appreciation, promotion, and conservation of national culture and multi-heritage. We also have the social and community involvement program. So the school conducted programs and opportunities designed to develop social awareness, personal internalization, and meaningful contribution to nation building. The community extension program of each department addresses the vision, mission, and the goals of the PCC as well as department through service to the marginalized sectors of the local community. So this is done through giving tutorial classes, clean and green program, conducting seminars and trainings, livelihood programs, etc. Next, here are the list of recognized student clubs and organizations. So, we have the College Student Council or the CSC. We have the Samahan ng Tagapagtaguyod ng Wika or the SATAWI. We also have Student Catholic Action of the Philippines or the SCAP, Collegian Playhouse, Men's Club, Women's Club, Drug Watch, Student Teacher Organization, Technology and Home Economics Club, Agribusiness Club, and PCC Dimension. Now, let us talk about the general functions of each officers. So, if you are an officer for an organization, you need to facilitate orderly conduct of organization activities and perform special tasks assigned by the coordinator. So, the class officers help maintain discipline and cleanliness in the classroom. They also facilitate orderly movements of their class and represent their class in meeting and perform special tasks assigned by the student council. Now, let us talk about standard operational procedures for student activities or the general guidelines. The first one, the student clubs and organizations can only be established if their purposes are not contrary to the law, morals, good custom, public policy, as well as the mission and vision statement of the college. Next, all organizations are encouraged to pursue activities that would help realize their objectives. The students are free to conceptualize, initiate, and implement activities as long as these uphold the trust and values of the school and enrich their learning experiences. All student activities are first subject to the approval of the coordinator and the dean of the college. Organization coordinators and officers should file for approval of the use of the college facilities at least 5 days before the schedule of the activity. The request must be signed by the coordinator and officer and approved by the administration. Next, an evaluation of all the activities they conduct must be conducted to ensure that these are effective, relevant, and in keeping with the programs of the school. To give students time to concentrate on their studies, student activities are not allowed 2 weeks before the major examination, the midterm. The written permission or parent permit is submitted to the teacher in charge at least 2 days before the activity. A narrative report about the activity must be submitted to the coordinator for student activity 2 days after. Let us now come to the general objectives or the general guidelines and student organizational policies. So these guidelines cover all accredited student clubs and organizations in Polangui Community College. First, all organizations and all its activities must be duly recognized and approved by the administration. The organizations are under the general supervision of the Coordinator of Student Affairs and Services. The organization must be able to contribute to the academic, cultural, physical, and social enrichments of the student. A faculty is assigned to each student organization and together with the officers are directly responsible for the planning, conceptualization, and implementation of the organization's programs. Next, membership to student organization should be voluntarily and open to all students of the college or as prescribed in the constitution and bylaws of the respective organizations. A student who is interested to join the organization should sign up for the membership and or attend auditions, screenings, or tryouts scheduled by the advisor. All organization officers are elected by the members at the beginning of the academic year in the presence and under the supervision of the organization advisor. Now let me present to you the calendar of activities for this semester, academic year 2021-2022. So August 16 is the opening of classes. August 18 is the virtual orientation for students. August 16 to 30 is the Lakbay-Aral sa Kulturang Pilipino. August 30 is the Panapos na Palatuntunan ng Buwan ng Wika. September 9 is the Seminar on Suicide Prevention. September 10, Seminar and Workshop on Livelihood Production. September 11, Leadership Training. September 18, Seminar and Training on Solid Waste Management. September 19 to 20, Intramurals and Extramurals. October 5 is the World Teachers Day. October 10, Seminar on Mental Health. October 22 to 24, Midterm Examinations. October 27, Gender and Development Seminar. December 5, Gulayan sa Paaralan or the Clean and Green Program. Next, we also have final examination on December 17 and 19. On December 20, start of our semestral break. And September 23, the start of Christmas online selling. So that would be all for my presentation. Thank you for listening, and again, welcome to Polangui Community College.
Welcome to the PCCICT Laboratory. The PCCICT Laboratory is equipped with 50 desktop computers. 40 of these computers are brand new, and 30 units are Wi-Fi ready. 4 units are used in the library as research equipment. The PCCICT Laboratory provides free computer use to PCC students, faculty and staff. There is no fee in using the computers, although users may be asked to verify PCC enrollment or employment. Lab Assistants. Friendly and knowledgeable IT lab assistants are staffed in ICT Laboratory. We are available to assist with computer or printer problems and are available to help with various applications and software questions. To safeguard lab equipment, we will enforce these guidelines in the lab at all times. Absolutely no food or beverages are allowed in the lab. Cell phone use in the lab is prohibited. Emergency calls can be received, but the user must step outside of the lab to continue the conversation. No active music or videos are to be played without appropriate personal earphones. No student or personnel shall be allowed to attach or detach any peripheral to and from any IT equipment or devices without explicit permission from the lab assistants. Proper computer laboratory etiquette must be observed. Ensure that no trash is left behind. Turn off computer units and arrange the computer peripherals, mouse, keyboard and headset, after use. Wearing of head caps inside the laboratory is not allowed. Chairs must be returned properly to its original places.
Good morning and welcome to the TLE Laboratory. These are the policies and guidelines set forth. For the general guidelines, follow and observe health protocols at all times. Teacher, instructors, close monitoring and supervision on the laboratory activity is a must. Familiarize the location of fire extinguisher and first aid kit and learn the use of it. Follow at all times the schedules promptly and consistently. Materials, consumables must be labeled properly. Secure and fill out forms prior to the conduct of the laboratory activity. In case of damaged tools or materials in the laboratory, replacement is necessary. Cell phones are not allowed during the conduct of the activity. No student is allowed to leave until after laboratory's final check has been made, inventory of the used tools and equipment, and all required lab papers are turned in. Strictly follow the 5S of good housekeeping. Always observe the 5S of good housekeeping. The 5S are: sort. Get through your work area and eliminate all unnecessary tools, parts, and instructions. Keep only essential items for your specific tasks. Red tag items that you are not sure about. The second one, set in order. Arrange tools, parts, and instructions in such a way that the most frequently used items are the easiest and quickest to locate. The purpose of this step is to eliminate time wasted in obtaining the necessary items for an operation. The third one, sweep. Clean the workspace and all equipment and keep it clean, tidy, and organized. At the end of each shift, clean the work area and be sure that everything is restored to its place. The fourth one, standardize. All workstations for a particular job should be identical. All students doing the same job should be able to work in any station with the same tools that are in the same location in every station. And the last one, sustain. Maintain and review standards. Once the previous 4S, these are sort, set in order, sweep, and standardize, have been established, they become the way or the new way to operate. Maintain focus on the new way, this new way, and do not allow gradual decline back to the old ways. For all practical sessions and laboratory works, students are expected to obey the 5 laws, and instructors or teachers' supervision is required. Rights to hygiene. Always put on personal protective equipment or lab uniform before each practical or laboratory. If you have to leave the food lab for any reason, apron must be removed. Place it on the counter and reuse it when you return. Always wash your hands when returning to the laboratory. Next, right to clean environment. This includes use only what is required, both ingredients and utensils. Do not remove excess ingredients from the lab. No eating is allowed unless for food tasting and sensory evaluation purposes. And rights to safety. Always wash your hands before and after handling of food. Do not leave stove unattended during cooking. Switch off gas and electrical switches after every practical. And proper use of tools and equipment must be observed at all times. Now, in case any accident, report it even if it is minor. And remember, the goal of the food safety professional should be to create food safety culture, not a food safety program. Thank you and good morning.
To our hardworking college administrator, Dr. Rosalinda Vivargas, VP for Admin, Sir George Rabe, College Dean, Dr. Manuel C. Mendoza, Assistant Dean, Dr. Clyde Anchoquia, to our very dynamic and competent program heads of each department, fellow instructors, other personnel, students, parents, other guests, welcome to the 2021 Virtual Orientation. Magandang araw, PCCnians! I am here, your NSTP Coordinator, Ma'am Matilde M. Cortan, and I will give you an update about what is NSTP and its program components. So before that, let us define first what is NSTP. So NSTP, or the National Service Training Program, is a civic, education, and defense preparedness program which the students instituted by the government of the Philippines on the 23rd of July by the virtue of Republic Act 9163. So it is the otherwise known as the National Service Training Program Act of 2001. So what is the purpose of NSTP? So the National Service Training Program is a program aimed at enhancing the consciousness and defense preparedness in the youth by the ethics of service and patriotism while undergoing training. The three program components specifically design the youth's active contribution to the general welfare. So, the following are the different legal bases in the implementation of the NSTP law. So, these are the Philippines Constitution. We have also the RA 9163 or the NSTP law of 2001. We have also the revised NSTP or the IRR of 2009 and the CHED Memorandum and Issuances. So these are the three program components of NSTP. So we have the Civic Welfare Training Service, or what we call the CWTS, which we are adopting here in our school. So it refers to the program components or activities contributory to the general welfare and the betterment of life for the members of the community or the enhancement of its facilities, especially those devoted to improving health education, environment, entrepreneurship, safety, recreation, and moral of the citizenry and other welfare services. We have also the Literacy Training Service, or what we call the LTS. So it refers to the program component designed to train the students to teach literacy and numeracy skills to school children, out-of-school youths, and other segments of society in need of their services. Then, the third component is the Reserve Officers Training Corps, or what we call the ROTC. So, what is all about? It refers to the program component institutionalized under Section 38 and 39 of the RA number 7077. So it is designed to provide military training to tertiary level students in order to motivate, train, organize, and mobilize them for the national defense preparedness. So, who are required to take the National Service Training Program? Of course, the students of any baccalaureate degree or at least 2-year technical vocational courses, both public and private, educational institutions shall be required to complete one component as a requisite for graduation. So, the students who are in first year, so you are required to attend or to complete at least one component of the NSTP. So, how many credit units will be credited in taking the NSTP? So, we have 3 units per semester and 54 to 90 training hours per semester. So, that would be all for the information about what is NSTP. So, after you have finished the course for NSTP, you are given a chance to be a volunteer in our community, especially in your barangay or here in our municipality. So, importante po na malaman natin ang kahalagahan or ang role ng isang kabataan sa ating bansa. Hindi lang dito sa lugar natin, hindi lang dito sa bayan natin, kundi maipakita natin ang pagiging makabayan natin at kung paano tayo maging maunlad na mamamayan ng bansang Pilipinas. So, before I end my presentation, may I give to you this quotation. So, every good citizen makes his country's honor his own and cherish it not only as precious but as sacred. He is willing to risk his life in its defense, in its consciousness that he gains protection whilst he gives it. So that would be all. A pleasant morning, good day, and God bless everyone. Thank you for listening.